Hey guys, how y'all doing? I'm here to give you guys a recap on the new episode of Steins Gate 0, which is on episode 4. Now, this episode right here was actually pretty good, not too bad. Now, I just had some things to do, or errands I had to comply to, and I have this recap coming up late. Aside from that, for my reasons why it's a little bit late than usual, maybe 1 or 2 hours at most. Yeah. Aside from that, let's get the summary on, or recap started. We add to it that it plays some kind of like scene that's most likely that's gonna happen in the future, which is most likely gonna happen, is that Okabe is being escorted by a couple soldiers, but later on somehow his escorts gets killed and later on gets brought to a location, which apparently the guy allows him to pick up his phone, and all of a sudden Okabe wakes up and later on gets sent back to the present time right now. So it looks like to me Okabe might have had like some kind of stunted up looking into the future sort of thing. Like maybe that ability that happened in the original Steins Gate, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's been so long that I have watched that series honestly. And we add to it that Okabe is just like freaking out right now and decides to go to Mayuri-chan, but she seems to be fine. But it's the only thing that we all know is that Mayuri-chan herself was actually listening into the conversation with Amadeus Kurisu, etc., which Mayu never mentions. Of course, like when it comes to the exchange of presents, we have to it that Okabe gets some kind of, I don't know what that thing is called, okay? Like, call me crazy, but you know, like, it seems like it has some, it is a woman's wear or something, and we have to it that a couple was laughing at him, so I just go like, oh my gosh, dude, if I were in that way in public, I wish I would just die. From embarrassment, okay? Okay, just from embarrassment. Aside from that, Kurisu tries to encourage him, just give it to Senpai, see what she says. I'm thinking about my, oh shut up, girl, etc. And we add to it that there's just a couple talks here and there, and Maho-chan, which I know she's an adult, ends up talking to Okabe for a bit, and we had to it that there were a couple scenes with Mayuri-chan and her friends, and then Meowster or something, Nyan Nyan or something, etc. We had to it that we get to a serious part in this episode, which keeps my interest going, you know? Like, Suzuha decides to confess to her father, which is like, Hashida Itaru, or whatever his other code name is, which I don't even freaking remember. Okay, continuing on. Like, she's looking for someone called Shina Kagiri, or Kagiri Shina, whichever you want to say it. We had to it that it involves like from going to 1975 to 1998 and coming to 2010. Eventually, in between those times when they were traveling, she gotten lost or something. And we had to it that like I don't know what's really happened exactly, but Okabe was told by Itaru to like look into it, you know? I mean like if you can help us find this girl Shina Kagiri, etc. Even right now Okabe is really looking into it right now, but we also get to see a scene with Shina Kagiri talking to Suzu-chan. And we had to it that that Suzu-chan has this IBN 5100, I believe. I think it's IBN 5100. I just don't remember the numbers. Correct me if I put the numbers wrong, okay? It's just the IBN first computer made long time ago. Apparently, this is involving with Suzuha trying to like do something like with the old cell phone and then the connection. You guys know what I'm saying. I mean, like, it's a little pretty obvious to see how, like, what she's trying to do with that thing. It's been so long that I don't know how it even works anymore, you know? Really wish I should, like, go back and forth, like, watching an episode back to back on how this is, etc. So, aside from that, we had to it that Shina Kagiri ends up remembering something and points a gun at her, says, you cannot do that. I hear a voice or something, and I think that's when they got separated, etc. And this is where Okabe, Rintaro, and of course, like many others, are trying to look into it, especially when Okabe asks Rumiho, Ruka for help if they ever find someone of a missing person, etc., which they will let him know know on about. Of course, like Rumiho, which is the cat girl, which I forgot her other name, forgive me, and Ruka, which is the major trap. I freaking don't, if I remember correctly, are looking into it. But apparently we have to it that Itaru decides to call someone who could help out, which is to my shock, which I will get to just a second. But not before, like, Suzuha was against this idea because she doesn't want anyone else to know. Of course, Okabe himself, he ends up getting a call from Ruka and tries to talk to him. And Ruka himself, is trying to, like, look into things like what the heck is going on here and there, etc. But, aside from that, sorry for being a little off topic here and there and stuttering. Ruka was trying to ask Okabe for some advice, maybe because, like, if someone approached to his or her house or something, well, his house, let's put it as his because he is a trap, and if I remember correctly, many years ago, that was my first trap being fell into. Okay, enough for me of what happened here, me and being a little off topic, as I always do in so many of my videos. Ruka was trying to ask for some advice, like I said, because someone arrived at the house. And there's some girl that's, her face is not shown, but it seems like to me she has red hair. And I go like, I think that's who I think she is. But if beforehand, Okabe is like, I'm sorry, like, I'll try to call you back later, alright? And pretty much like he hung up right now. So Ruka was trying to ask for help or some advice right now because 2 people or guests showed up at his house, etc. But aside from that, we had to it that that the person who Itaru contacted is Kiru Moeka, which, if I remember correctly, is lab member or lab member 005. Lab member 5, if I remember correctly. Even Okabe can only stare on in shock and freaking, like, how am I supposed to say it? Just shock. Because that's the person that Itaru contacted. And I'm thinking in my mind, okay, this is not going to be looking good right now. That's all I could really say for the time being. So, yeah, all I could really say is just like that scene at the beginning of Steins Gate's new episode is that World War III, if I remember correctly. There's a little bit what happens in the future with Okabe and his escorts and being brought to a certain location, waking up thinking it was a dream. And we had to, it goes back to present time, and then like it gets into some serious stuff after the party whatsoever. And the only serious thing that caught my attention this episode is Shina Kaguri. And I'm pretty sure all you guys who are visual novel players or even like watching the episode up to this point, if you're up to date with everything, etc., will understand like that Shina Kaguri has to be the one that grabbed your attention, etc. So yeah, like I said, I do not know what's really about to happen, but the Shina Kaguri seems very important due to the fact that she got lost in between the time travel when she was going with Suzuha, and that time when she pointed a gun at her, I think that was the time that she possibly got separated from her. That's my kind of hypothesis or theory, whichever one that fits for you. Aside from that, that person who showed up at Ruka's house and has long red hair, I think that has to be Shina Kaguri. I might be wrong, who knows, because it looks like to me she might have gotten a little bit older after what the hell happened, because I'm pretty sure a decade might have passed already when they mentioned about like 10 years already passed when yeah, sorry for me being a little and off topic in certain parts of my recap, but that's about it. So Shina Kaguri, looking for this person. How important is she? Guess we'll have to find out. So until then, I'll see you guys in my next video. So I'm Alpha Zero, people. Have a good day, and I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-toot-doo!